Have you ever been so bored with nothing else to do? You just got home from work or just got home from school? Do you need something to do? How about the late night show? The late night show? The late night show with Marianne and Sheena.
I just hope Dad doesn't embarrass us like he did when that one-legged guy came over.
All right, well, if you like movie trivia, I got one that'll stump you. Of course, you're probably not really into trivia. Boy, that global warming, huh? They say we lost a foot of snow last winter. Hey, how about another beer, huh? I bet you like the taste of hops. You only have one leg, sir.
Hi, good night. I'm not gonna talk about it. You didn't say good night.
Oh, good night.
So our topic is abuse. And we're going to talk about two different types of abuse. In the household, like family-wise, children, you know, amongst one another. And then relationship-wise, I mean, well, you do have relationships in your family. So I'm going to say marriage-wise. And intimate partners and stuff like that. So here are a few facts we're going to start off with. Sorry. 50% of all marriages experience one or more episodes of domestic violence. In 20% of all marriages, this domestic violence is ongoing. In the U.S., a woman is battered every 10 seconds. And I'm going to say men too, so none of you can say, oh, we're being sexist or whatever.
Yeah, we're not sexist.
More than a third of the women treated for violent injuries in U.S. emergency rooms have been hurt by their husband or an intimate partner. Male victims of violence are more likely to be injured by a stranger than by someone they know. Female victims of violence, in contrast, are much more likely to be injured by an intimate partner than by a stranger. Each day in the United States, about 4 women are killed by an intimate male partner. That's crazy. A woman is 5 times more likely to be assaulted in her own home than on the street. Wow.
Yeah, there's some tough stuff. I don't like how this thing generalizes with the women, though. They don't say anything about men.
Yeah, they only said it like once.
Yeah, because in this, like, they say her. Like...
Because, you know what I think it is? Because it's more common for women to get abused.
Yeah, but they're making it sound like men don't get abused.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's more common in women. You have rare cases, but, I mean, there are men, like they mentioned before. But men are more likely to get abused by people they don't know, other than someone they do know.
Oh, yeah. Way to pay attention, Marge. Okay. So, in a domestic cycle of violence at home, you have the 3 stages: escalation, the battering episode, and the honeymoon. Escalation is where all the fussing and fighting happens, and that's when the abuser is like fighting with the victim all the time, and the victim thinks it's alright, and she thinks she can go through the day and come home and everything will be alright. And then they said that that's why a lot of the victims go through depression, because they have to deal with all that anger and stuff inside. And then you have the battering episode, and that's what?
It has a chart. We're going to put it on there for you guys to see.
Oh, a chart!
Yeah, so, like, for the escalation, it starts, like, right here, I believe.
Oh.
And then when you get to battering, it says anger, loss of control, rage, physical violence.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say in the escalation thing, that's when they make unreasonable demands. Like the fighting hasn't started yet. In the battering episode, that's when it happens. And then the honeymoon thing is where the guy's like, oh honey, I'm so sorry, everything's gonna be alright, I'll never do it again. And that's what I learned in health class.
Yeah.
That's what they always say, they always promise that they'll never do it again.
But then they are.
Yeah, and the reason why the woman stays is that she loves the guy. And she's like, oh my
gosh.
gosh.
She thinks she loves the guy.
Well, she probably does, because that's why they stay. That's the only reason they stay.
Or
they're actually scared that...
They're scared to leave because some guys actually come and hunt you down. Like, for leaving them somewhere, like, mad psycho. I mean, you're psycho in the first place for abusing someone. But, I mean, yeah. And, like she said, honeymoon. Guilt, apologies, tender words, sorrow, promises, and then gifts. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then it's a cycle, so it just keeps happening. And there are 3 types of abuse. There's physical, verbal, and emotional. So you don't have to be getting punched in the face every day. You could just have someone that's always talking you down, making you feel stupid, like you're belittling you, and just making you feel like crap. And yeah.
So why do you stay? That's the first thing everyone wants to know. Why do you stay when you get abused? And it says here.
What, you want me to read?
At first, the victim stays because, I'm going to say he or she. He or she blames herself, and he or she hopes the abuser will change. She or he believes that.
Just say she.
He or...
Just say she.
Okay, sorry. All right, let me start over. At first, the victim stays because she blames herself. She hopes the abuser will change. She believes he needs her, and she loves him. He is often charming and lovable when he's not violent.
Yeah.
What she often fails to realize is the impact of the cycle of violence on her other support relationships. Over time, as she focuses more and more on coping with the violence of the abuser, she withdraws from friends and family. Later after, she concludes that the violence is unlikely to improve. She may be cut off from outside support.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
something new for me. So it's like you have no one to run to because you're with this abusing guy and you cut ties with all of your other relationships. So you
Usually
have
because
no
they don't
one
want
to
people to know because they're ashamed. I realize that too. Because they're ashamed, they're not going to want to go to someone sometimes. And then it says she stays because she has no place to go, because she doubts her ability to support herself, because she fears the abuser will kill her if she leaves. That's what we said before. Because she believes she doesn't deserve happiness. And the cycle never ends.
So what you have to do is don't handle this by yourself. You should call the domestic violence center. They have
You can give this number that we found on here.
1-800-799-7233. The way to remember the last 4 digits is SAFE. So it's 1-800-799-SAFE. And stay safe, people. Do they talk about how you can like prevent this stuff?
Probably if you call the hotline, they will.
No, like from the beginning. I think that the first signs, if you notice that if you're with a guy and he like hits you or touches you and like it's not in a joking way, or even if he's joking, because sometimes that's how they try to play it off by saying that they're kidding, but really they're not kidding. So I think you should just like nip it in the
And
bud.
it may not even be physical abuse. Let me put it, it can be emotional as well.
If you're with a guy and he's constantly telling you that you're ugly and like you need to not wear that stuff, and you feel like he's always controlling you, that can turn into abuse. So don't. And if he's always trying to find out where you are, who you're with, what you're doing all the time, constantly calling you and stuff, then that is jealousy, and jealousy turns into abuse, as we mentioned in our other video.
Yeah, the jealous guys, that's what we mentioned.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so this was like type serious, I know, right? No laughing, except for the times when I messed up on the reading. But I really do hope you guys take this seriously, you know, check it out online. And we're going to have the chart at the end of this video for you guys to look at the cycle, escalation, battering episode, and honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you need help with this,
You can call me.
800-799-SAFE. Or you can call me or us.
Yeah.
Message us and we'll give you our number because we're not going to put it on Facebook.
Actually, if you call me, I'm just going to tell you to call the domestic violence center. So you should probably just call them first, because what can I do?
Yeah.
I can pray for you. You can come to church with me, but
yeah.
that's pretty much all I can do. But those people can walk you through it.
And the first person I know can give you advice is mi madre, too, if you're afraid to call them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, night peeps.
Bye.
We'll be back soon.